Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Jesus Christ for us. Rejoice always. I have to make a confession. Until this year, 2020, I was one of those people who refused to play or listen to Christmas music or to sing Christmas carols or to decorate until Advent, or at least the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I was kind of stodgy about it, militant, if you will, and I would make comments sometimes under my breath and sometimes out loud that it's too early to decorate or to sing or to listen to Christmas music. I confess it wasn't pretty, and I'm not proud of myself for my stubbornness or my judgmentalism. But this year 2020, this year I've been transformed. We moved all of our decorations from our storage unit to our apartment long before Thanksgiving, and even set up the tree. It's artificial, and truthfully, we needed to put the tree box back into the storage unit. But we did wait until after Thanksgiving, actually Thanksgiving Day, as we watched the Macy's Day Parade, to decorate it. And as soon as Christmas music began to be broadcast on XM radio, sometime early November, my car radio was set to both the traditional music station and the Holly stations. And I've been singing Christmas carols and songs in my car for weeks. And you know what? The decorations, the lights, the holiday music have all helped bring joy to 2020 and have added to joy to this season of Advent when so much has been lost and so much has been depressing and so much has been in darkness. So that's my confession. But I think all of us are reminded that we need to find joy. We need to find joy, especially this year. We need to search for those places where we feel that joy where we can rejoice always. Every day this week, the United States has set records for the number of people who have died from the COVID virus, and the number of cases is rapidly approaching 16 million. 16 million just in the United States. Hospitals are overwhelmed. Nurses, doctors, housekeeping staff, and other healthcare workers, grocery store and frontline staff are all putting their lives at risk and the lives of their families at risk every day to care for others. The pandemic has changed the way we live, and while we are all looking forward to the recently approved vaccinations, we still need to wear our masks, to keep our distance, and to sadly avoid gathering with family and friends, especially difficult this time of year. Thousands of people have lost their jobs because of the pandemic. People are hungry and scared. The need for food and clothing is skyrocketing, not to mention shelter, people being evicted from their apartments because they can't pay their rent and their homes. And yet, there seems to be no relief in sight, at least no government relief. Thankfully, organizations all over the country, nonprofit organizations and organizations in our own community, like Germantown Help, Manna, Nourish Now, are providing food assistance to people. But these organizations rely on donations from people like us to help them meet the ever-growing need. And of course, it's not just the pandemic that's affected us and impacted us and our joy this year. The civil unrest, the protest for Black Lives Matter have brought to the forefront the call to learn and address systemic racism in our country. The murders of unarmed Black men and the executions of prisoners has increased at an alarming rate. Likewise, the ongoing challenges resulting from the separation of children from their parents at the border and the continued election results, or lawsuits, I should say, make us crazy, make us sad, make us concerned for the future of democracy. I don't know about you, but the stress of this year, due to all of this, has and continues to be overwhelming. Which is why, at least for me, the sight and sounds of this season couldn't come early enough. As Christians, as people of faith, we need more light. We need more hope and more peace and more love in the world. Joy to the world. The Lord has come and the Lord is coming. This season of Advent is a time to prepare, to wait, to look forward in hope and peace and joy to God who is with us and who is coming among us. We, you and I, as Christians, need to act more like St. Nicholas than Stooge. We need to share with those in need rather than accumulate more and more for ourselves. We need to find joy in everything. Rejoice always. Pray without ceasing. Be thankful. The author C.S. Lewis wrote a book entitled Surprised by Joy. He writes, "All joy reminds. It is never a possession, but always a desire for something long ago or further away or still about to be. Joy is never a possession. Rather, it is a desire for something we long for, something long ago, something that is part of our lives, or something yet to be. And we know about that yearning for joy, that yearning yet to be of God continuing to come among us, looking forward to the birth of Jesus again in our lives and in our hearts and in our homes. The joy we seek for times past maybe has to look a little different this year. And yet we need to look forward to the joy for the time that's still about to be. God, Emmanuel, God is with us and will be again. And our mission this Advent is to make room for joy as we seek to find joy during Advent, waiting for Jesus to come among us at Christmas. So, my friends, bring on the music, sing, dance like no one is watching, decorate your homes, shine forth your light, donate to those in need, care for your neighbors, wear your mask, keep your distance, bake cookies, write cards or letters or emails, walk, do whatever brings you joy, and spread God's love, God's peace and hope, wherever and however you are able. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and be glad, for giving thanks in all circumstances is the will of God in Jesus Christ for you. O come, Emmanuel. Amen.